Hey, what's up? Welcome back to Travel Tech. So I have been teasing the 70mai A200 for quite some time now, and many of you were very eagerly waiting for this video. So it's finally the time to show you all you need to know about the 70mai A200, and after you watch this entire video, you can decide if this is the right dash camera for you. So let's get started. So 70mai has some really popular dual channel dash cameras, specifically talking about the 70mai A500 in the mid-range segment and the more recently released 70mai A810 with the Starvis 2 sensor. Both the cameras are very popular in their own segment and carry its own fan base, but 70mai was missing out on the budget dual dash cam segment. So today in this video we'll be taking a look at the newly released 70mai A200, the budget dual dash camera from 70mai, which is more or less derived from its elder sibling, the 70mai A500. So let's jump in straight into its detailed unboxing, take a look at some of its features and show you a detailed video quality review of this dash cam, and following it up by showing you the entire app settings of this dash camera. So this is going to be an all-in-one video, and I recommend that you watch the entire video without skipping so that you will be in a better position to decide if this is the right dash camera for you. Let's start with the unboxing. So let's take a quick look at the newly released 70mai A200. So here's the box pack and two pictures of the front and the rear dash cam and the naming, that is a 70mai Dashcam A200 set. On the lower end of the box they have provided some descriptions. It says 1080p with HDR. Following that, it also has parking surveillance, app control and dual channel recording. Similar features have been highlighted on the other side of the box. So let's quickly open up and take a look inside. So you get this familiar box packing from 70mai. So let's open this up first. So you have this small cardboard cover wherein you will find your user manual for the A200. Following that, you get a user manual for the rear camera. So let's keep this aside. Then you have two electrostatic stickers, one for the front and another for the rear. Let's keep them aside. There's nothing else inside this cardboard wrapping. So let's take a look at the front dash camera, that is a 1080p camera with HDR. So this is the A200 dash cam. It more or less resembles the 70mai A500, I must say, in terms of its size, in terms of its form factor. It has got this screen at the back and four control buttons at the bottom. This is the power button, I'm guessing, and this is the LED light. So on another side you have this DC in, that is a power port. Then you have the AV in for the rear camera and you have a micro SD card slot. So this is a mounting adapter, and here is the lens of the camera. And here is the rear camera of the A200. Let's see how much it rotates. Yes, it rotates 360 degrees as you can see, and it doesn't make much of a prominent clicking sound. There are a lot of ventilation holes on the back and a mounting adapter. You have this familiar 4-pin connector for the rear camera as well. So here is the rear camera connecting cable. As you can see, here is the 4-pin port, and at the other end you have a micro USB port. So this is the rear cam connecting cable. Following that, you have the front camera cable with a type A connector at one end and a micro USB port at the other end. Now this connects to the front dash cam. Let's keep it here. Following that, you have a 70mai car charger with a single USB port. Following that, you have this mounting adapter, windshield mounting adapter with a 3M sticker tape on top. So taking out the camera is also pretty easy. Slide the camera upwards and it comes out. In order to install it, slide the camera downwards and it mounts in easily. So let's take out the mount and keep it here. So what else is inside the box? So this is the last item. So this is a wiring crowbar in order to help you in achieving a proper wiring for the dash camera. That's it. So these are the things inside the box. You have this rear camera connecting cable, you have this car charger, the front camera, the rear camera, the wiring crowbar and a front camera power cable along with the mounting adapter. So now let's take a look at some of the important features of this dash camera. So in the dual channel mode, the front camera has a resolution of 1920 x 1080 at 30 frames per second and it supports HDR. The rear camera has a resolution of 1920x1080p at 25 frames per second. If used in a single channel mode, the front camera will have a resolution of 1920x1080 but at 60 frames per second. The field of view of both front and the rear camera is 130 degrees. It has a 2-inch IPS display at the back. The image sensor used for the front camera is GC2093 and the image sensor for the rear is GC2053. Both the front and the rear camera have an f2.2 aperture. It has a 500 mAh inbuilt battery and it supports micro SD cards from a minimum of 16 GB up to 128 GB. It supports parking mode with additional hardware kit. It also supports time-lapse recording and it has the 70mai app support for both Android and iOS. So now let's take a look at the license plate readability of this camera. So as you can see, I've paused the video at a point where the vehicle in front of me is pretty close to my car, and if I just zoom in on the license plate, a very crystal clear read of the plate. All letters and numbers are clearly visible. Full HD cameras such as the A200 have a really good license plate read at a very close range. Taking the video forward so that I gain some distance with the vehicle in front, about a distance of 10 to 15 feet. And if I now zoom in on the license plate, it gets slightly blurred out due to the magnification factor, but still overall the letters are now still clearly visible and you can still make out the number plate. Coming to the nighttime footage and taking a look at the license plate at a very close range. So as you can see, actually the headlights of my car are hitting the license plates more or less directly, but still the A200 is able to capture the license plate and in good contrast and brightness levels. This goes to show that the A200 has some really good exposure compensation levels, because otherwise the license plate would have been completely whitewashed like in some of the other dash cameras. Moving further down into the video and taking a look at a distance of more than about 15 feet. Now as you can see, in spite of having the glare of my headlight, the letters and numbers of the plate are slightly visible. I mean, it's not completely whitewashed, even though with a bit of difficulty you can still make out the number plate, and this too indicates that the A200 has a really good night vision tech built inside it. Now taking a look at the rear camera and looking at the license plate at a very close range, you do see a mild level of noise and blurriness, but the overall plate is visible and you can make it out clearly. Now do note that this works at a very close range only. More than 15 feet, the rear camera probably won't be able to capture the number plate. Taking a look at the nighttime footage from the rear camera, so as you can see, the camera does capture a lot of glare, and if zoomed in at a distance of 15 feet, the license plate will be somewhat whitewashed. But here's the trick: if the vehicle moves in a bit closer to your vehicle, the camera compensation works well and it is able to compensate for the high glare of the headlights. And now if I zoom in on the license plate, so as you can see, the number plate is now clearly visible at a very close distance of 5 to 10 feet. Looking at the comparison of both the front and the rear camera side by side, on top you can see the front camera having a resolution of 1920x1080 with HDR. It has a 30 FPS frame rate and it has a bit rate of about 10,700 kbps, and the file size is about 79 MB per minute. The rear camera has a similar resolution but with 25 frames per second. The bitrate and the file size is more or less similar since both cameras have the same resolution. So in comparison, the front camera does offer better contrast because it supports HDR, and the rear camera comparatively appears to have slightly higher exposure and brightness compared to the front dash camera. But the overall clarity in both cameras is simply amazing, and at this budget price, I think you're getting a more than enough good deal from both the front and the rear dash cameras of the A200. Comparing the nighttime footage from these cameras, as you can see, the front camera offers a very good video clarity and it has decent contrast, brightness and saturation levels, but the overall picture quality is really good from the front camera and a decent quality provided by the rear camera during nighttime. Okay, so first things first, when the dash camera is initially connected to its power source, you need to make sure that you open up the dash cam and you enter the setup of the dash camera and also format the SD card which you might have inserted into the dash cam. So once the dash cam is formatted and the system time and date are properly calibrated, then you can enter the 70mai app in your smartphone and get into the detailed settings of the dash cam. So as you can see, now it is currently stating that the format has been successful and now the camera is now live streaming on the display. So let's head into the settings section of the camera and enable the Wi-Fi hotspot. So let's enter the system settings, and within the system settings you have the Wi-Fi hotspot option. So click on that and click on the on button. So now the Wi-Fi has been activated. It is giving the hotspot name and the password also. So you need to enter this particular password within the app while entering into the settings. So let's keep this here right now and open up the 70mai app. So this is the 70mai app, and as soon as you open up, you are going to get this screen wherein you will have to click on the add device. So then select the dash camera with screen option, then select the Dashcam hotspot option at the bottom and click on confirm. Now your smartphone will search for the dash camera's hotspot. So here you go, as you can see, the 70mai A200 hotspot is showing up on my smartphone's Wi-Fi settings. Click on that and it's going to ask me for a password, the password which is being displayed on the screen of the 70mai A200 Dashcam. So the current password is 86814504. So once you enter the correct password which is displayed on the screen, click on the connect button. Head back onto the app. It will give you a loading screen, and now it is going to ask for confirmation. Please click the power button to authorize. So you need to click on the power button on the dash camera to authorize. So just click on the tick button. So now since you clicked on it, now the app is successfully connected to the dashcam, and you also get a notification on the dash camera screen that the app is connected. On the app you get a new pop-up saying the device does not support power button or voice control when 70mai app is visiting. Just click on got it. So here you go, the app is now currently live streaming. The screen is gone dark because the camera is facing downwards. So as you can see, the app is now currently streaming on my smartphone. So let's head into the settings of this dash camera and take a deep look into all the options that this dash camera provides. So first of all, you have the option of video coding. So if we click on that, it is giving two options, high compression ratio and low compression ratio. You can select this based on your requirement. Following this, you have the option of video clip duration. So if you click on that, you have the option of increasing the video recording up to 3 minutes, or you have a minimum of 1 minute. Following this, you have resistance to blink or the frequency. You can set the AC frequency at 50 Hz, 60 Hz or 55 Hz. Let's head back. Then you have the option of enabling or disabling the 70mai logo in the recorded videos, currently selected as enable. Then you have mirroring and rotation option. So in case of the rear camera, so as you can see, the rear camera is now streaming. So in this case, we can horizontally mirror the camera, or you can even rotate the camera. So this is a very good option along with the live preview given within the app. So let's just head back. Following this, you have parking security options, wherein you have collision detection, wherein the camera records videos when abnormal vibration or a collision is detected. You can set it at on after you install the hardware cable, otherwise it's not going to get activated. Let's head back. You also have the time lapse option, wherein you can enable or disable it once you have installed the hardware cable. Then you have the smart travel option, wherein you can select the emergency video recording based on the G sensor sensitivity. You have the high sensitivity, medium and low sensitivity options for emergency videos recording. So let's head back. So following this, you have the sound settings, wherein power on and off prompt tone, you can enable or disable that. You can alter the volume of the speaker to large, medium, low or completely turn it off. Then you have the key tone, you can enable or disable it. I'll currently disable it. Then you have the record audio, which is basically mic button. You can enable or disable the dash camera's mic. So let's head back. Following this, you have the language option. Screen standby option, you can set the screen be always turned on. You can set it at screensaver, or you can completely turn off the screen. So this is also based on your requirement. Then following this, you have the auto off when no movement persists. So you can click on this. So this means when the dashcam with continuous external power supply will automatically shut down after the vehicle is stage ready for the following duration. So you can set the dash camera to shut down automatically after a set amount of time. Then you have the turn on Wi-Fi hotspot automatically after starting, off or enable. You can select this. Enabling Wi-Fi hotspot will consume more power. So currently I'll just enable it. Then you have the dashcam system time. You can click on this and sync the time from your smartphone to your dash camera. Then you have the date format, DDMMYY or YYMMDD. So currently I'll select DDMMYY. Then you have the about dashcam, wherein it provides the dashcam model number and firmware version. Let's head back. Then you have the device data, wherein it gives you the option to retrieve the device log. Then following that, you have the format memory card option, wherein you can format the memory card present within the dashcam. Then lastly, you have the factory reset option, where you can set the dash camera to its original factory settings. So these are the options within the 70mai app, and interestingly, I don't see a resolution or a frame rate option within the dash camera. So let's head into the album section. So here is the album section, and herein you can see the various different categories and the timeline also of the videos recorded. So you can download videos by clicking on this button, or you can even head into the categories of the video, wherein it will show all the videos. In the main section of all videos, you have a separate folder for emergency video, parking videos, time-lapse photography and photos. So all these options are present. So there's also a switch camera button, wherein it will switch to the reverse camera and it will switch back to the main camera. So this is also an important feature while you're monitoring your dash camera from the 70mai app. So these are all the options present within the 70mai app for the 70mai A200 dash camera. So that was one lengthy video, and I think after watching this you have now a better idea of what are the capabilities of this dash camera, and does it suit your requirements and does it suit your needs. And if indeed it does, go ahead, click down on the description, you will find the purchase link right there. If you have any more doubts or queries regarding this dash cam, you can write that down in the comments as well, and I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. Also do note that as of now, this dash camera comes with two accessories, a CPL filter and a hardware kit, and the CPL filter for the A500 is the same one which can be used for the A200 as well. Also, for the time being, you do get hardware kit with few straps for this dash camera. The links to purchase those will also be given in the description. Also, if you're interested in getting some more info or you want to check out some other dash cams, you can check out my previous videos, and also you can check out the website nextdigitron.com. So this was the video for today. I hope you liked it, and in case if you did, make sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now and smash that like button. Also don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you get notified each time I upload a new video. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.